G'day there and welcome back to the $100,000 crypto challenge. There have been some big moves in the crypto market in the last 8 weeks, and in this video I will share all of my trades and my thoughts moving forward into the new year. Please note that the information contained in this video is not financial advice and is purely for entertainment purposes. In today's video, a look at the market and Bitcoin in particular, how the portfolio stands today, all of my recent buys and sells, and what I'm looking to do for the rest of this quarter and the beginning of 2024. Let's start with Bitcoin, and in the last video I said that I was expecting Bitcoin would hit $33,900, which is the target or the measured move of the head and shoulders that formed on the chart. I also said that I didn't know when the target of 33.9k would be hit, except that I was confident it would be hit at some stage. Well, we've definitely got the answer. 5 weeks ago we went right through the target and we haven't looked back, and it's looking like after the end of this week we will have 3 consecutive weekly closes above what I've always seen as key resistance at $36,300, i.e. we're looking at more bullishness ahead in my opinion. But where do we go from here? We've just had CZ step down as CEO of Binance, but we still have the Bitcoin spot ETF narrative alive and well. In the short term, there's always room for some chop, there's always room for some pullbacks, but on the whole, I'm not expecting the hype of this spot Bitcoin ETF to die down in the near term, so I am expecting strong price action right into Christmas. However, after Christmas, well, that's a different story. At this stage, each ETF spot Bitcoin filing, they've just copied each other. We've got the final deadline for ARK Invest on January 10th. Now, obviously, if we have a spot ETF approved before Christmas, then I'm just going to long anything I can get my hands on pretty much. There's going to be no looking back on my part. But I think the most likely outcome is we start to see large volatility from Christmas right up until this January 10th date. Now, if there's a denial, then I'm pretty sure that that's going to be all she wrote. I'm expecting if there's a denial, we're just going to see some of the largest red candles that we've ever seen in crypto. Looking at the facts that we know, my best guess, and I'm not confident in this, but my best guess is that the ETF will be approved. Now, I'm saying this because there's a few factors. One, the SEC did not appeal against the Grayscale decision. Also, I see that the deal between the SEC and Binance, I see that this is a key to addressing many of the shortcomings of the previous spot Bitcoin ETF filings in terms of the concerns that were raised around price manipulation. And the key factor for me is that after BlackRock listed their ETF application, we saw Bitcoin move up to 30,000. It hung around there for a while, then it came back and retested 25,000. Now, all of a sudden after that, we got this fake leak from Cointelegraph that the ETF was approved, and then price proceeded to pump to where we are today. Now, this fake pump, if you will, or the fake news which has continued into this strong upward move, this most recent price action tells me that there are insiders who are confident enough that the ETF will in fact go ahead. Now, of course, while this is how I'm seeing the market, at the end of the day, this is crypto and anything can happen. The portfolio today. Like I said, it's been a big move up since the last video where the portfolio was around the $105,000 mark. At the moment, I'm in 17 different coins. I've got around $10,500 on the sidelines in USDT. As you probably already know, I'm more than willing to raise more stables by borrowing against some of my larger holdings. Largely, we're in a player-verse environment. We're normally in a PvP environment, but right now we're in a player-verse environment. So at this point in time, all I need to do is find the right coins to buy, and I'll be there buying. All of my recent buys I'll be covering in this video, of which you can see there's been many. And right at the bottom there, poor Umami. You know, I thought it was a good idea at the time, but at this stage, Umami is looking like a lost cause. Taking a look at ETH, look at this chart. Call this an ascending triangle. Call this a triple bottom. But on the weekly, in my opinion, this is about as bullish as a chart as I've ever seen. These lows down here, around about 1,000, maybe 1,200. Personally, I just cannot see them breaking, and in my opinion, this is, like I said, as good of a chart as there is in terms of having a really strong bottom. Now, of course, at this point in time, we've got price right up against key resistance, but if there's a denial of the BlackRock spot Ethereum ETF, which is entirely possible, provided that doesn't happen, then this chart looks insanely bullish to me. It looks so good, in fact, that I did pick some up as we were fishing around down 1500s around here. As soon as we got this move up, I said, okay, I really want to get in. I don't mind if I get in at 1750. I'm happy to pay that price, and if we go lower, I'm just going to hold. So I did pick up 9 on this little retrace here at 1750. Then we got some big moves up. Once we got here, this big green candle here is the spot Ethereum ETF news from BlackRock. And I just said, look, I just got to add a little bit more here. So at 2075, I did pick up a little bit more. Had to suffer through a little bit of a drawdown here. But I'm just going to hold it. I don't have any plans to get rid of it, that's for sure. Let's talk about IMX. We're talking crypto gaming. We're talking Alex Becker. We're talking Elio Trades. All of a sudden, they're all back on timelines with all their shameless self-promotions for Neo Tokyo and Superverse. And with all of this in mind, I put in a bid at 88.5 cents, which we had this huge move up here, past $1.20. I got filled, I believe, around about here somewhere at 88.5 cents. And since then, the move has just continued onwards and upwards, and it's nice to be up 50% it's nice to be up 50% in position after 3 weeks. For now, it's just a case of holding it and making sure that nothing crazy happens. Maple. In the last video, I talked about Maple a lot. I talked about how I wanted to go big in the project. Now, fortunately, I was able to get filled $3,000 worth at $5.65. It has, at this point in time, at $16.10, it's almost a 3x. So I've put in 3,000. I have sold some. I've taken 1,000 out at 14.13, just where I saw key resistance. But still, it's almost $7,500. So it's done really well. If we hit $22.80, I will sell about half my position. Just trying to manage, I guess, a little bit of the risk. But at this stage in time, really happy with my pickup of Maple. Okay, paid. Now, as you may have picked up, I've been following Paid like a hawk for years now. I've been following all of their AMAs. I'm always following their Twitter. They have stated that they will start hosting IDOs again. When exactly, that's anyone's guess. But at least they've told us that they've onboarded at least 5 different projects as of today. Now, in the last cycle, they launched some of the biggest projects. We're talking Star Atlas, AOS, a multitude of projects, some more questionable projects like Castor, for example. Now, I'm not vouching for the projects necessarily, or the character of the people involved in those projects, but I can vouch for the return that was received on those projects, and based on those returns, I have been looking to allocate heavily into Paid. Now, down here at about 12 cents, I did pick a little bit up, just a little bit. Then all of a sudden, it just took off, and I had to just get in there and mark a buy. 2.5 cents, just about 3.3 cents. And because this has been a decent consolidation here, I've taken a little bit more off here at 4 cents. So I put in about, I believe, 5,500 into Paid so far. It's almost 2x'd from there. And at this point in time, it's just a case of holding, waiting, seeing what price does. Hopefully these IDOs come out relatively soon and they're of a high quality, and we continue to see some good gains in Paid. SEI. I picked this up just a couple of days ago. Let me see, 22nd November, just around here, on a retrace to 15 cents. $3,000 worth, up over 50% at this point in time. My best understanding, I could be wrong here because I've basically read about it and thought, okay, sounds good to me, let me get in. I think it was a Cosmos L1, had Coinbase backers, some theories that Coinbase looking to decentralize, get a perp dex happening. Makes a lot of sense to me. I guess my counter would be, wouldn't they put that on base? I don't know, but just in case, stuck $3,000 into SEI, doing well so far. Okay, ASTR, this is, once the market really took off, I kind of just looked at the list of things that I really wanted and basically just made a plan to either just pick them up or get a retrace, or worst case, chase them down. ASTR 0.06, I saw as key support. I stuck in an order for 2,000. I got filled. The idea around this is that it's going to be the Sony blockchain. If that becomes true or not, I don't know. At least there's a narrative there for it. There's potential there where if Sony one day comes out and says, hey, NFTs are going to be a big thing, or we can use blockchain for X, Y, and Z, we can use ASTR, I've got to be there for that. So I was happy to get in to a piece of ASTR. Okay, let's talk about Cetify. So basically, once Cetify price kind of came down to where I thought, if I buy here, I can hold it and it's just not going to bother me. Like, I feel like it's a good price. I said, okay, I want to get 10k worth of Cetify so I can get the private allocations, because tiers 1 through 5 are public. So what happened is I put an order for 5k worth of Cetify on one exchange. I put an order for 5k on another exchange. Price had a big move up here. This little green thing is where I got filled. I only got filled on one exchange though, so I was able to pick up 5,000 tokens at 63.15 cents. Now obviously since then it's almost been a 4x. It has basically gone crazy. I've been looking at the IDO returns actually on Cetify and just in general across all IDO platforms. They're not amazing. I think Chappie's did okay. It's probably done the best out of any IDO pretty much this year. But a lot of the last ones, like they just had, I think Plexus, like yesterday or the day before, it only did about a 3.7x all-time high ROI. So I don't know about this. Now obviously once we get into the ruble market, the returns are going to be crazy. But at this stage they're still very modest. I didn't participate in the IDO because I don't want to have to deal with all the vesting and the unlocks, and it's just a real mess. Unless if you're in a really good project, then it's worth it. So for now, I'm just holding this Cetify. I would like to pick up another 5,000 tokens so I can become private, but we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Things that I couldn't get in. Look, I was talking about PYR the last video. I was like saying what an amazing chart. Just as I was getting my order set, it just took off and didn't stop. Got to almost $8. Sometimes you just don't get into them, and this thing is just gone. Such is trading crypto sometimes. Okay, so all my buys since the last video and all my sells, I'm just going to talk about Beam quickly. Now, I don't, back in the day, Beam has renamed from Merit Circle. Back in the day, I was in the Good Games Guild, IDO. YGG was all the rage. I never bought any of it though, because you've got these gaming guilds going around farming all these games basically for their play to earn. It just did not seem sustainable to me. Now, what have we got? Merit Circle have renamed themselves to Beam. They've got like a subnet on AVAX to incubate blockchain games. I don't love it. However, a lot of influencers out there have seed rounds in it. They're going to keep shilling it. Honestly, if I can get a decent return on it and get my initial out, I'm going to do it. I don't love the project, but it is what it is. DYDX, on the other hand, high quality project in my opinion. It was really taking off. I had to chase it a little bit, but still I'm pretty comfortable with my position. The price has moved up a lot higher from where I bought it from. So I'm happy that I've been able to adjust and realize, when things are going to take off. You just have to kind of just bite the bullet and market buy. So I was happy about that. In terms of the sells column over here, Frax, I did pick it up. I don't love the project. It's got that RWA narrative, but for profit, I just took a little bit off the table. GMX, I did buy GMX. at $50. I sold my whole position at $51. I just kind of thought, it's it's just not asymmetric enough of a play for me. I just want to find something else which, I'm really into, or that, GMX had a big run since its initial, when it first came out. So it just doesn't quite tick all the boxes for me. And if it doesn't, I'm happy to cut it. I mean, sure, it could go in 10x, it could go in 50x, but it's just a decision that I made. And Maple, I took that little bit of profit just because prices had a good run. Now, in terms of the trades, I do list them all in a spreadsheet. The link is in the description below if you're interested in following. And of course, in the Discord, I also list all of my trades. And so if you're interested in following along, as soon as I trade, I like to post it straight away. That way, people don't miss anything. Now, in terms of the plan for the rest of this year, there are still things I'm looking to pick up. I'm looking to pick up ARB, for example, big time. Render. Render is just, I'm probably going to have to let that one go. I've come to terms with that. It's just an insane token. There was a day where I was like, okay, I'm going to pick it up here. Went to bed, woke up, next day I was up 30%. Forget about it. Stargate. What is TKST? Token, what is it? Can't remember off the top of my head. Token Site, I think. Token Site has plenty of big influences behind it in the seed. They're going to keep pushing it. I was actually trying to get into it the other day and then it took off. So just monitoring that one for now. Point 2 is that I'm looking to consolidate after Christmas due to the ARC deadline. That's going to take quite a bit of work, but I think that is the smart thing to do. And as I had before for number 3, do not hold more than 30 coins in the bull. I've got 17 at the moment, so there's just a couple more that I can add. So that brings us to the end of the video. Now, if you have an altcoin that you'd like me to take a look at or, discuss, you can leave it in the comment section below or drop it into our Discord and I'll take a look at it. Take care until next time, and thanks for watching the $100,000 Crypto Challenge.